everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is Life Well Spent. My name is Kelly, and on this channel, I'm documenting my financial journey. So we talk a lot of different money things. I do a monthly budget with my actual numbers. I will close out that budget at the end of the month to show you how I've been doing. And that's actually what this video is going to be about. I am recording from my I have this upstairs balcony sort of thing. I'm not really sure how or why anyone created it, but they did before I bought this house. And um actually, I take that back. I think I probably know why it was created up here instead. There's like a river, maybe like half a mile down, and then on the other side of the river is they're not really mountains, they're like big hills, but like, a nice view of elevated land that's covered in trees. And there's also a lot of really tall trees that would be in the way if you put a space like this down on like the first floor or the basement floor. Because actually, I live in a house that's like cut into a hill. So anyway, all the way up here, you get a really great view. So I'm guessing that's why whoever built this before I bought this house, I'm guessing that's why they put it here. Because I am outside, you might hear the sounds of kids playing, and you might hear the road noises. We have some trucks and stuff that will come through. And you will definitely hear birds. That's a big reason I'm out here. I love listening to the birds. I love watching birds. They're fun. So it sounds like there's some crows or something out there. But anyway, so without further ado, we will get into it. We'll talk about how I did in June. All right, so here is my budget. And you know what? So birds, cars, children playing, and apparently dogs barking. That's what we're going to be able to hear. So anyway, uh so my actual income this month was, or in the month of June, was $4,452.79, which was sort of expected. There was additional income for me because I was selling back days and things like that, and I just honestly wasn't really sure how it was going to all shake out. So I just left it at like 4,300 because I was like, well, I know how much those days are going to cost, and I kind of undercut that because I never know how much they're going to take out in taxes and whatnot. So it is what it is. So it was $152.79 off. I'll live with it. So anyway, $4,452.79 of income, $105 from my mother. And if you've been watching my videos, you know this. But if you don't, my mother pays for a couple of things. Like we have some shared subscription services. I have the cell phone plan, and she has the line on my plan, so she pays me for that. And then we each contribute $50 to a brokerage account for my niece. So she pays me, and then I pay I put the money in the account. And $101.60 of miscellaneous extra income. So some of this stuff is like just converting gift cards and things like that, which is what I typically do. This could also be if I got reimbursed for something at work or what have you. But anyway, total income for the month of June, $4,659.39. Now, mortgage, $688.77. That is my mortgage payment. It's the principal payment, the interest, the like taxes, insurance, PMI, all that stuff escrowed in. Electric was $39 and 89 cents. I'm not entirely sure why I budgeted 43.72 other than to say, no, that really wasn't it. I would have seen that number somewhere, so I'm not entirely sure what the problem is there, but oh well. $37.88 for natural gas, $63 for sewer. That's a flat rate. $18.98 for water. That's basically a flat rate for me. And I'm honestly really surprised that I didn't go over because I've been like watering plants and stuff like that. But I expected to be paying more. But like I said, the $18.98, I kind of consider it a flat rate because there's a certain amount of usage, and I get charged that no matter how little I use up to the amount. And I don't know what it is. Like, let's say it's 1,000 gallons. So I pay $18.98 for 1,000 gallons. And then once I go over, there's a percentage at that point. But I rarely ever go over, if I do, I will in the summertime. And I expected to because I've been like using the power washer. I've been cleaning off things. I've been watering plants all the time. So I'm not really sure what happened there, but I'm fine. Because I hardly ever go over, I really don't have any sense of like how much I've used. I just probably should take a look at that, but I don't. Internet $58, cell phone $41.54. I forgot that our rates were going up a little bit, so that's my fault for being under there. Groceries $225.30. Life insurance, I pay my life insurance quarterly. And it's actually really just like accidental death and dismemberment insurance. And I probably should just cancel it because like whatever, but it's $7.50 a quarter. I don't really think it's a huge deal. So anyway, um, gas, I spent $123.68. House and garden $14.01. Restaurant was $64.39. I'm honestly kind of shocked that I stayed under there. I almost never do these days. Fitness, $40.72. That basically is the price of my gym, although that actually has gone up for July. Personal, $96.04. So went over there a little bit. Miscellaneous went over a lot. $266.20. That is because at the REI anniversary sale, I bought my tent. I think that's what I did this month. It's already like midway. It's almost actually the end of July, so I don't know that I quite remember what I bought. I knew I had to replace the tent, and I either did it in May or in June, but I kind of feel like I did it in June. So that miscellaneous extra income would have been like my REI money, like $100 that I could put towards that. All right. $100 to my niece's brokerage. Again, 50 for me, 50 for my mother, $70.83 to my brokerage account. I started doing this at some point the year, I think probably like February, I realized, or March, maybe I realized that between maxing out a Roth IRA and maxing out an HSA with the new changes, the IRS limits, that I was really, really close to investing almost $1,000 a month. So that $70.83 gets me to the $1,000. So that's why I just started doing it. Roth IRA, $500 goes to that. Now here comes my savings stuff. So, I was not actually able to put anything towards my emergency fund. Some of that had to do with some of the different, like just travel stuff I was doing and what have you. So yeah, it happens. Medical fund, I paid $154 out. So I ended up actually just putting that money back. I forget what it is that I spent it on, but had an appointment, had a bill, paid for it, just decided to put the money back in. So I was back up to 2,000. So one of the things I'm doing differently this year is I am trying to max out these sinking funds to like certain amounts. And then as I spend the money, put that money back, and then the rest of it goes towards like the next thing I'm maxing out. And in June, I got everything where I needed it to be with my addition. The only thing that I had left was my travel fund. And with the little bit that went into my travel fund in the beginning of June, I got there. But then I took a trip, so I'm not there anymore again. But anyway, subscriptions $155. Some of that's for my mother, some of that's for me. I spent $299. It's just my iCloud account. I keep different amount of money in this. I like to pay things out for the full year. We are actually getting rid of a lot of different subscriptions. Like June, in June, we decided not to renew Paramount Plus. Like we've gotten rid of Amazon Prime. We've gotten rid of Netflix. Like there's so many things that we're cutting back because we just don't use them. And like when you could actually password share, it wasn't terrible, right? If I could spend $20 or $25 and get access to like a bunch of different subscription services, and it's not really a big deal if I only watch like one or two nights, in a month, one thing. Because I'm like, well, yeah, I'm getting that super cheap because I'm, trading with all these other things. So was it really the end of the world for me? But now that they're really cracking down on password sharing, like, okay, then I don't need to pay you any money. So we let Hulu go. We let Paramount Plus go, we let Prime go, we let Netflix go. And then I think what I'm just going to kind of do is like when there's something on Netflix that I want to watch, then I will, I'll do like a month subscription to it and, kind of watch what I want to watch in that month and then go away, cancel it. So like Disney's coming up in November, so we're probably going to get rid of that one. Cause that's really going up in price. And HBO is going to be in January, so I will probably get rid of that one. And then we'll just basically kind of watch things as we want to watch things. But truthfully, I mean, getting rid of Amazon Prime was huge. I have spent so little money this year on just like random stuff that I probably don't really need. Well, that I definitely don't really need, let's be honest, but stuff that I probably would have spent money on to buy. It's been great, right? Like Prime Days, we just had Prime Days and I didn't buy a single thing. I didn't have to worry about like getting scammed by anything. And I'm just like, it's cool. I'm done. It's great. Love it. Love it. Join me in the land of reduced subscriptions. So anyway, I don't know what my actual costs are going to be. And I've typically paid everything out a year in advance. So like, these aren't like month to month things. If we decided that we were going to, renew, Disney Plus, like it would renew, I think in November. And so it'd be like $150 for the year or something like that. I'm not sure what it went up to, but so there are times when like there's a lot more money in there and I've just paid out a couple. One of the things I do put on there or I do count in there is things like my VPN and my password keeper and like things like that. So it's not all like streaming services per se. Some of it is just things that like comes on subscription now. Let's see. NLC, that's an Nittany Lion Club. I pay $200 every year for that. I just set $17 a month aside to make that happen. Nothing went into my giving fund, but I did take $522.11 out of my giving fund. So I did something actually really cool this year. I've been wanting to do it for a while and I finally had the opportunity to do it. I went and did some trail magic. So I used my giving fund to go buy a bunch of stuff to give to hikers. So in the summer, we work 4 days. We're off Fridays. And it's probably like the middle of the month when we first got our like really, really awful heat wave. And it was bonkers hot. Like it was in the 90s and it was miserable. And I kind of got the notion earlier in the week and I was like, wait a minute, like I'm not working on Friday. And right now is the time in Pennsylvania where the AT bubble is moving through. Like, I'm going to go get some stuff and I'm going to do some trail magic. If you're not a hiker, you probably don't know what trail magic is, but trail magic happens when it means a number of different things. But one of the ways you can provide trail magic is to provide some kind of support or something for hikers, right? So through hikers hiking the Appalachian Trail, which is like a 2,000 plus mile trail, it's like 2,200 miles or just under 2,200, something like that, from Georgia to Maine. And they usually start around Easter-ish. Some people start a little bit earlier, some start a little bit later, whatever. But depending on the pace, the bubble of hikers, move. Some people will start going faster and they'll get in front of everybody. And some people are slower and they'll get behind the bubble. But like the average pace hiker is in a bubble. And the bubble always moves through Pennsylvania kind of mid to late May into mid to late June. So I was like, oh my God, this is perfect time. It's the perfect freaking time to go do this. I'm going to go do it. So I went to Sam's, I bought a bunch of stuff, like Gatorade, and I bought a thing of water. I bought some fresh fruit because I'm a hiker. The longest I've ever been out was 3 weeks, but like I've gone out every summer, last couple summers, I should say. I used to do a lot more hiking and then, kind of life got in the way. And then couple summers ago, I started hiking again. I've section hiked. Made it from West Virginia to the New Hampshire, Vermont border. And I intended on actually initially going up and doing the section before the White Mountains in New Hampshire. And I'd been having some like injuries and some issues with my back. And I just really wasn't in the shape that I wanted to be in to go out and hike. And at this point, I'm really glad that was the case because it's so hot. It would have been miserable. And I'm so glad I didn't go. Anyway, when you're hiking, it's really hard to get fresh fruit and fresh vegetables because you are just like it's so heavy to carry, so you really can't carry it. Um, and like it's so when you get into town or you go past like a convenience store, like that's the one thing you want, like their cold fresh fruit. So I decided like I'm gonna do that. So like I bought a watermelon, I bought a pineapple, I bought some different apples. I had like grapes, I had blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Like I had a whole like giant fruit salad, basically. And I bought some different snacks and things like that. Things that I knew that like A, I would eat. So if I didn't get rid of them all, like they wouldn't go to waste. And that B, like you definitely kind of crave when you're out hiking. So I got a bunch of that kind of stuff. I packed up my car. I found a really great spot and went out for a day and did some trail magic. So I didn't actually spend 500 and some dollars on that, but I think I included like my gas that day. I included like all the ice. I bought a huge cooler, which is what I needed. I tried to borrow one and nobody had one the size that I needed. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to buy this. And I figure when I go camping and like there'll be times that I can actually make use of it. So I'm just going to suck it up and do it. And it was $50 off. So I spent $100 on that. But anyway, that was fantastic. I love that I had a chance to do that. I have decided though that I'm gonna, in putting that money back, I'm gonna do it kind of $50 at a time at this point, and we'll work from there because I'm really, really wanting to get that emergency fund up. But anyway, $59 for car insurance. My car insurance comes out every 6 months, and I at this point, I'll pay it in August, so I will be getting the bill actually really soon. I'm not, now that I think about it, I feel like I should have gotten it by now. But anyway, I'll be getting it really soon, and I'll be sending that off. Nothing into the car repair fund because for once nothing needed done. Well, something needed done and I'll get there, but that's a different fund. Gift fund, I put $267.79 in, and then I spent $10.60 because I bought my friend a book who's getting ready to retire for her birthday. And not getting ready to retire. She's probably within the last like 5 years of working. And so I was like, here, read this book, please. Set yourself up for success. It is the oh my God. It's Susie Orman's book, Retirement for like 50 and up or something. I forget, 50 and up retirement guide or something. My mother's reading it right now. She's finding it really useful. I found it really useful. I read it to basically help my mother through it. I'll help my mother through retirement, I should say, because, she's kind of on her own to do it. She was originally going to be able to do it with my dad, and now she can't. So, because he died. But anyway, so I thought, I need to be informed myself. And so retirement has always been one of those things that's so far off that like I've given very little thought to. So I was like, yeah, I got to get on that and figure that out if I'm going to help guide her and not screw her. And by extension, eventually screw me. I better not do that. So I read the book. I found it amazing. It gave me a lot of things to think about that I definitely would not have thought about otherwise. So I thought, you know what? My friend wants to retire. She will have to read the book. So anyway, I got that. So I'm putting that money back in July. Garden, I spent $108.14. This one I'm actually not going to start putting back money in until probably closer to November because I basically just set this aside so that I can buy like mulch and I can buy plants to put in my garden or my yard and stuff like that in the summertime. But like I'm at the point now where I might be buying some mulch. But I'm probably not going to need to buy anything else right now for the winter. So, or like going into the winter. So I'm not super worried about stuff. Travel, put $166.79 and got that baby up to $2,000, like I said earlier. But then I spent about $650, $649.66. Friend and I, the one who I bought the book for, it was her birthday. We took a little like birthday trip. We went to Montreal and we went to Vermont and we had a great time. Don't regret it. Don't regret it. That ended up kind of being my summer trip for the year. So, oh well, that happens. Didn't spend or put anything into clothing. I have nothing in my cushion fund anymore because I think like a month or two ago I emptied that and put it into something else, maybe my emergency fund. I'm not sure. The last thing I spent was money in my tires and leak fund. And now I think the tires were only like 8 something or 900 ish. And that's something that I knew. So first, the fund was my tire fund because I had to put new tires on. And then when I got my car inspected in the fall, they were like, hey, new tires, great. Everything is fine. Just to let you know, you have this little like cap. It's like an engine cap or something. And it's just kind of not as tight as it should be. It's getting a little loose. It's going to start leaking. And right now, it's really not that bad. You're okay. You don't have to fix it right now. But it will cost like about $900 to fix. And they were like, again, you don't really have to fix it right now, but like it will eventually deteriorate to the point where you will have to get it fixed. And you'll have to get it fixed like immediately. So, but they're like, but you're not there yet. And I was like, well, how long will it take for me to get there? And they were like, I mean, it could be a year or two, but it could also be like 3 months. So I kind of was quietly sort of tucking money aside. And so I got that taken care of. And like I said, that wasn't the full 1,000. That's just, I made it that much. And so then basically once I had paid that, I rolled the rest of that money over into something else. One of these other accounts, I think I was just like, yep, that's going to be what I put back in. I think I might have used that to put back into the gift fund or something like that. So yeah, that's just basically cleared that account out. And if I were moving forward, if I did my budget the way I used to do it, which was like a tab for each month, like I just would have eliminated in July that line item, but now I can't because it would eliminate it for all the months. So wasn't really thinking that one through, but what it means, next year, unless there's something else, God forbid, I probably will get to my car's inspection in December and they'll say, well, hey, you need this fixed. So that line item probably will not actually ever go away. Anyway, there's my budget. It's how I did in June. Sorry it took this long. It is July 19th today. But actually was traveling and then my niece came to visit and I was staying at my mom's for the last 2 weeks, which honestly kind of thank God, because I don't think I would have survived without the air conditioning in the ridiculous heat that we had. But had a lot of fun with my niece. She wore me out. Didn't really have a lot of time or energy or even privacy to record this from my mom's house. So I just thought, you know what, I'll just do it when I get home. So I've been home for close to a week now, recovering from the exhaustion of trying to keep up with a very energetic 9-year-old. Anyway, that's all for my June budget video. If you are still with me, thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later.